We see a field of heroes who served their country. But Don Milne,
When you look at his date of death, it says June 5th, 1943.
right here, he sees thousands of stories desperate to be told.
So Everett Burkholz here was actually born in Colorado.
And he wants to tell as many of them as possible.
So they put him on a Belgian liner. It was called the SS Leopoldville.
Milne lives in Utah, but visited Denver's Fort Logan National Cemetery as part of his new project, Stories Behind the Stars.
His location on the ship, he probably was killed by the torpedo.
He spent the last 3 years researching and writing about the fallen heroes of World War II.
Just because it was an accident doesn't mean that we shouldn't remember people like Everett.
His goal is to compile short histories of each of the 400,000 plus American service members killed in that war.
I got into this because I started just as a hobby because my kids are older and I have some free time. Every day I would write the story of someone who died during World War II, and I wrote more than 1,200 of those stories between the 75th anniversary of the end of Pearl Harbor and the 75th anniversary of the signing of the peace with Japan on the battleship Missouri.
In the end, he wants to create a searchable database, even a smartphone app, so users could visit a place like this, scan a name on a headstone.
Yep, that's his story, and we've got it all written here so someone could read it while they're visiting his gravesite.
And be taken straight to a webpage that tells the soldier's story.
And I think it'll give them an idea of what freedoms we have in this country, because these people paid the price.
It isn't going to be easy. So far, he's only compiled about 1,200 profiles.
Looking for the grave of Harry Nelson.
So he's enlisting help, researching these enlisted men and women.
His plane actually ditched in the ocean, so this is a cenotaph grave. He's not actually here.
He wants family members and friends to submit stories about their heroes who died, and volunteers to help write about these historic men and women.
They just visit grave sites, find the name of someone who died in World War II, and write their story. It only takes an hour or two to write a story. We give you free access to research sites like Ancestry, newspapers, Fold 3, and if you can write an obituary, you can do one of these stories.
Already, people from all over the country and all over the world have offered to take part.
We don't have a lot of professional genealogists, historians that are helping us out. It's mostly just people that have some free time. They have a love for those who served our country. They want to see their stories remembered. And so they're writing these stories. It's amazing.
His objective may seem ambitious, overwhelming, and impossible.
His story is he was in the 66th Infantry Division.
But compared to the goal these heroes fought for in faraway lands more than 75 years ago, it's the least he can do.
There's no reason in the year 2020 why we can't have grave sites that are more than just names on stone.
For Veterans Voices, I'm Jeremy Hubbard.